This is Speak Your Piece, sharing the opinions of your coastal neighbors on today's pressing regional issues.
I was looking at family photos, baby clothes, diplomas, and other waterlogged possessions while waiting for teary-eyed homeowners to give me permission to throw them away, forever. We were only 10 miles away from my home, so damaged that I would not be able to live in it for another 3 months. I can remember my mom saying, "Vamos, we're leaving." Chicago was our destination, the only city we had family in. We packed up our belongings and prayed. That same Tuesday morning, members from my church gathered to pray for our beautiful beach town and everyone who calls it home. Immediately after, we traveled over 1,000 miles for safety from the hurricane. Yet, the storm was still inescapable. We were sitting in a pizza shop in the heart of the Windy City, and as I look up on the walls filled with televisions, I find myself watching my hometown, Wilmington, North Carolina, on the news getting lashed by Florence. Our eyes were peeled to the media, waiting for the moment roads would open so that Wilmington would no longer be an island, cut off from the rest of the world. After the storm passed, days went by before floodwaters receded to let us back in. As we traveled back, we anxiously waited to see how our home fared with the storm. We finally arrived home at 9 p.m., with only enough light from the car's headlights to see that our mobile home was still standing. My parents told me and my sister to wait in the car while they investigated the inside of the house. "Mold," my dad said when he returned. Mold had taken over our home. Masses of water leaked in through the roof and down half the entire walls of our home, and finally seeping through the floors. We cannot stay there. I phoned a friend, and on the other end of the phone call, I found relief, and with open arms, he welcomed me into his home. It all happened so fast. Very quickly, the fear that could have controlled my life was shut down by the encouragement I received from people who cared for me. The label victim of Hurricane Florence would no longer define me. Fear of the unknown transformed into hope for recovery. I would spend the next few weeks volunteering with members of my church through an organization called Samaritan's Purse to aid in home restoration. Homes were in major need of debris removal, mud outs, and roof tarping. I was provided a dust mask and gloves, and we spent hours picking up misplaced belongings that were attacked by flooding. We took turns walking up to the homeowners and waited patiently for them to decide whether the items were worth keeping or impossible to preserve. I couldn't help but notice that the homeowners seemed waterlogged themselves by tears they held back. Once they decided it was time to let go, we would walk the belongings over to the 8-foot piles of debris that were running down all along the roads of the neighborhood. Once we were done, we prayed for the families we helped. At the end of the day, the most notable thing were the smiles glowing from the faces of everyone who had spent time getting to know each other. Residents of these neighborhoods held on to the fact that we were all in this together, regardless of our differences, as a community, as a family. I even forgot I had a home that needed fixing. We all found hope in knowing that as we built relationships with each other, our community got stronger.
You've been listening to Speak Your Piece. Interested in being on Speak Your Piece? Visit shoresides.org for more information on how to work with us. Thanks for listening.